I'm not interested in being Elon Musk, but I would love to create a culture or a place for people to find out if they could be like him. Let's say his brain is working at like a 10, right? Most of us are probably not even working at a 3 with our brains, because a lot of us see other people's 10s or 5s and think, oh, what's the point? I'm stupid, obviously. No, your 10 is just as magical. Hi guys, I hope the lighting's okay. I have this topic that I really want to talk about. From the interesting title, How to Save the World. I know, it's kind of out there, but just bear with me and hear me out, okay? I was reading this book called The One Thing by Gary Keller. He was talking about how he has these 7 aspects to his life that he cares the most about. The most important is spiritual life, then physical health, then personal life, and there's more. And he says that he puts those in order of importance, because spiritual life like sets the tone for everything else, and then physical health, yada yada. And I noticed that in that list though, he didn't put mental health. And then that's kind of when it clicked for me that mental health and spiritual life is one and the same. I really think, and I have this hypothesis, that religion was our earliest form of self-help. It's pretty much like a way for us to self-care mentally back when we weren't ready for the mental health industry, when we didn't understand what our brains did and how it related to our bodies. The core teachings of religions, of a lot of religions, is things like forgiveness, peace, gratitude, charity, helping other people, neighborly kindness, humility. And that's essentially the kind of things that an atheist is learning about when they want to take care of their mental health. Because it just so happens that living like that feels really good. And haven't you noticed that like the people who are religious and really truly believe and live by those teachings are kind of like the happiest and nicest people? I mean, Mormons are so nice. But hey, look, I'm not saying that everyone who is religious is good, right? There's shitty people everywhere. There's shitty people in every religion. That make religion have a bad rap. There are shitty people in feminism that pretty much completely skewed the whole idea of feminism. There are shitty people in the mental health industry. There's shitty people everywhere. Because, there's people who are religious who signed up for, it's just about the I believe in God part and the gays are bad part. But then there's other people who really subscribe to the core teachings that I mentioned earlier. And honestly, I think they're having the best time. A lot of people make fun of them and say like, oh, they're believing in something that doesn't exist. The feelings of joy and happiness, and those are real inside them. When an actor learns how to cry on demand, they're not like fake crying. They actually learn how to feel sad by thinking of a bunch of really sad things, and then they get themselves to cry. They can create that feeling. And so it's kind of the same for anyone else. They just, that way of life is creating a lot more feelings of love and joy. It just cultivates that. I mean, sure, some people might say they're delusional, but a lot of people also, their biggest goal in life is to be happy. So to me, it's kind of like, who's winning over here? Another way that mental health care and religion have something in common is that all these acts of kindness, right? All this like gratitude and helping other people, it's all for selfish reasons. And I say selfish in the best way possible, because if you see a parent putting on their gas mask and then putting on their child's gas mask, you don't call that parent a selfish, bad parent. I don't think there's a word for it, and I wish there was, but Jim Rohn, he calls it enlightened self-interest, where you pursue some kind of benefit for yourself that benefits everyone as well, and nobody loses. So religious people do it so that they can get closer to God, We do it so that we can get closer to ourselves. I do that stuff because I just want to be happier. But like, you know, I'm not going around thanking myself because I also feel a very, very strong connection to the universe, the big U, because look at us. I just think it's so crazy and cool that we right now are the best version of ourselves. Like, through thousands of years of evolution, we got the genes and this like makeup where a head over here, 2 arms, 2 eyes, a nose, like our huge brain. This is the best combination right now for us to have survived like a really, really harsh environment. And not only that, we completely thrived and we're doing insane things as a species. Like, I think our species is just incredible. Humans are really cool, and I feel very lucky that I get to be a human. Like, this is legit. This is great. I really am grateful to be a human. So like, I really thank, I guess, the universe that I have this brain, I have this consciousness, I have my hands that I can create art with, and yeah, it's just so freaking cool. And so I just think it's also really cool that we figured out how to take care of ourselves mentally without even knowing about it. Like, we created this motivation for God, like to do these things that actually make us happy for God, to help us deal with some very difficult emotions, negative emotions, live the most optimal life. Like, we didn't realize what we were doing. We thought, oh, we're doing this because we want to go to heaven, or we want to, you know, do God's will, do God's bidding. When actually, I think we were taking care of ourselves. We were keeping ourselves from killing each other. Like, we thought we were doing God's bidding, but actually we were keeping ourselves from self-destructing, because that way of life is more joyful, more fulfilling, and fulfilled people kill less people and they don't kill themselves. And people who thrive tend to innovate, tend to create progress, tend to contribute to society. I just think it's so cool that we like sneakily took care of ourselves without letting ourselves know. It's just insane to me, and it just makes me appreciate humans even more. It makes so much sense. Like, no wonder religion spread, because very, very, very few people enjoy seeing somebody else suffer. And it makes a lot of sense. Like, those of us who found a lot of like benefit from taking care of our mental health, we want to share it with others, because because of empathy, right? Our brains understand empathy. We were given empathy through evolution as well. We understand other people's suffering and we want to help reduce it as well. So of course religion spread. I mean, for me, this like really helped in terms of like, I have complete faith in humanity. Like, the fact that we were able to take care of ourselves in the past when we had no idea what was happening, but like our brains just kind of like, yeah, okay, here's how we're going to take care of ourselves without us knowing it. I just feel like so confident in us as humans today. So it just makes me all the more optimistic about us and our future. And I know it's looking very grim in the media, like all the post-apocalyptic shows and movies, but I think history and our brains are about to repeat itself again. I think we're doing things thinking that we're doing it for these kind of like small reasons, selfish reasons. There's a huge rise in mental health care. Meditation is spreading like crazy. Yoga is very important. Being in tune with spirituality or caring about your mental health is going up. And people like me who care about that because I'm empathetic to other people's suffering, I'm doing it because it makes me feel good. I'm doing it in the like, you know, selfish ways because I like how that feels for myself when I'm helping other people. I'm like thinking it's for this like small reason and it's just for myself, kind of like how religious people would teach religious concepts so that they and that person will go to heaven. I think our brains are tricking us again into actually doing something much bigger to take care of ourselves, and we're not aware of it. And I think that much bigger thing is saving our asses from all the future doomsday stuff. Climate change, CO2 gases rising, the ozone layer disappearing, like all of it. This rise of mental health importance is to help take care of ourselves on that front. And here's why. As a life coach, I really, really care and am super fascinated by helping people find their fullest potential. I want people to be their best selves, and I do that for me. I do that because I like doing that, and it's very fulfilling work for me. However, in turn though, the more minds that are decluttered from insecurity, self-hatred, fear of failure, depression, anxiety, that means the more minds that are unlocked to then go and solve a lot of our problems. And solving our problems doesn't always mean like being Elon Musk, but like contributing to society makes a huge difference, because then it just kind of like makes this snowball effect for everyone else. Imagine if every single person in the world loved themselves, believed that intelligence is a skill, not like a fixed trait, believed that they had something to contribute to society. I think we would be solving all of our problems by tomorrow if that was the case. I mean, look at how one person who completely and utterly believed in his vision could do. He's taking us to Mars. And I'm not interested in being Elon Musk, but I am super fascinated with helping other people find their fullest potential. Like, that is my passion. I love the mind and understanding the mind. I'm not interested in being Elon Musk, but I would love to create a culture or a place for people to find out if they could be like him. And let's get something straight, like, no, not everyone could be like him. His brain probably works in like a totally crazy way, but let's say his brain is working at like a 10, right? Most of us are probably not even working at a 3 with our brains, because a lot of us see other people's 10s or 5s and think, oh, what's the point? I'm stupid, obviously. No, your 10 is just as magical. Like, if you were at a 10 with your brain, you would probably be making some fucking crazy shit that Elon can't make, you know? Like, just, so then imagine again, like, just the United States, 300 million people. If everyone in the United States was working at a 10 with their brains, they thought that they could. I mean, that's just crazy. I feel like we're not even a tenth of that collectively there. So I think this is why mental health care is rising, why meditation is spreading, and I think that's how we're gonna fucking save the world. Yeah, it's just some thoughts that I had. I don't know if this was the best way to describe it. So essentially, my answer is, how do you save the world? You focus on your mental health. All right, thanks guys. See you later.